On the night of our graduation trip, the class president suggested we draw room numbers for pairings. Destiny decides your roommate, he shouted. Whether it's a guy or a girl, you stay in the same room. How thrilling. Nobody knew that Faye Linwood and I had been dating for 3 years. Our relationship was a secret, hidden from every one of our classmates. I pulled a ball from the box and waited for the results. When it was Faye's turn, she called out, "Number 7, Reese." The class president suddenly raised his voice. "The other person for room 7 is Xander Thorne." The guy Faye had once chased relentlessly during our freshman year flashed a wide smile. The room erupted. Everyone started cheering, calling it a match made in heaven. I stayed silent. No one knew that before the game started. I heard Reese whisper to her in the hallway, "Look for the ball with the tiny bump. I saved it specifically for you and Xander." Faye's cheeks flushed a deep crimson. She walked over to Xander and reached out to straighten his collar. I just smiled to myself. It turns out 3 years of devotion couldn't even buy me a public acknowledgement. This time, I decided to be the first one to walk away. Reese handed them red wristbands and shouted the rules again. "Same numbers are a pair. You're tied together for this 3-day trip. No solo missions." Xander kept smiling as he put on his wristband and grabbed Faye's small handbag. Faye's face got even redder. She tucked her frame behind his shoulder. Xander took off his jacket and draped it over her. "Stop teasing her. Faye is shy." "Wow, protecting her already? Watch out, everyone. If we upset Faye, Xander is going to settle the score." I stood outside the circle, holding my ball in one hand and my heavy suitcase in the other. Faye had stuffed all her things into my suitcase. "You'll carry my bags anyway. I can't drag 2 cases. She even pointed at my new jacket. "That looks warm. I heard it gets cold in the mountains at night. I'll wear that." In 3 years, she never showed me affection in public. She never wore my clothes in front of others. I had been so happy, thinking she might finally go public during this trip. But on the first day, she wore Xander's jacket. The small bag she said I'd be carrying was now hanging off his shoulder. The suitcase was incredibly heavy. It dragged at my arm. I set it down and cleared my throat. I raised my hand. "Hey guys!" Everyone turned to look. Reese was still grinning. "What's up, Cyrus? Xander is your roommate back at school. Want to say some words of blessing?" Xander stiffened, his smile turning awkward. Faye looked up, her eyes flashing a sharp, warning glare at me. She was terrified I'd blow our secret, but she was worried about the wrong thing. I simply held up my ball. "Who has number 3? Reese scanned the room and saw a girl in the back raise her hand. "I do." It was Ren Harper. Reese laughed. "Oh, Ren, I know you're single. Cyrus, what about you? If you're single, you stay together. If you have a girlfriend, I'll swap you with a guy." I interrupted him softly. "I'm single." Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Faye's eyebrows relax, and then immediately knit together again. She turned to look at Ren, but Reese was already pulling out the orange wristbands. "Perfect. You're both single. Maybe we'll have another couple by the end of the trip." I took the wristband and nodded politely. "Thanks." When I picked up the suitcase again, I felt her gaze burning into my back. Xander went to call his parents. Faye lingered, waiting until I was the only one left before handing over their IDs. "Go to Reese," she whispered, her eyes fixed on the floor. "Tell him you don't want to stay with a girl. Swap with a guy, or pay for a private room." I was busy texting my parents. I didn't even look at her. "Why? What do you mean, why? You aren't single. You can't stay with another woman. And what about you? Are you single?" Faye's fingers froze. "This is a game. I'm just following the rules everyone agreed on." My voice stayed low. "Right. I'm also following the rules." Her eyes widened in anger, but before she could snap at me, I took my keycard and walked away. Reese shouted to the group, "Everyone, meet in the media room in 30 minutes. I booked it out. We're going to watch a documentary of our freshman sports day for nostalgia." I didn't stop walking. I gripped my suitcase handle tighter. The freshman sports day documentary. The footage of Faye's